So now we are going to review Unit 8, which was acid-base chemistry. Really, acid-base chemistry has to do with how many hydrogen ions you have in solution, and also the simplest way is just kind of to distinguish the difference is to talk about hydrogen ions versus hydroxide ions. So the Arrhenius acid definition and base. Okay, an Arrhenius acid was something that ionized to produce hydrogen ions in solution. And an Arrhenius base was something that ionized to produce hydroxide ions in solution. So how do you classify something as an Arrhenius acid or base? You just simply look and see if you have a hydrogen that could be removed from solution, or see if you have a hydroxide. For example, so by definition, which is our Arrhenius acid, the HCl, because this hydrogen could be removed and the chloride ion would be left. Which of these, by definition, would be the Arrhenius base? This one, the one that would release the hydroxide ion. Okay, now you probably remember just simple characteristics of acids and bases. Remember, acids taste sour. The pH is less than 7. Bases, we say, are bitter, with the pH greater than 7. Okay, now remember, water is in between. Water is what we call amphoteric. It can act as a Bronsted-Lowry acid or base because it could give up a hydrogen. If it lost a hydrogen, it would form the hydroxide ion, or it could gain a hydrogen and act like a Bronsted-Lowry base and form the hydronium ion. Now, when we talk about strengths of acids or bases, to classify something as a strong acid or base, it has to completely ionize in solution. So what does that mean? That means if you have hydrochloric acid, which is one of our strong acids, if it completely separates into ions in solution, that's a strong acid. If it does not, it's a weak acid. For our purposes, there's technically 7 strong acids, but the most important ones to remember are hydrochloric, nitric, and sulfuric. These are our strongest 3 acids. And for our bases, our strongest bases are going to be our group 1 metal hydroxides. So this is referring to the periodic table, group 1. So lithium hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. Those are the main group 1 metal hydroxides that are classified as strong bases. Otherwise, for the most part, we consider other acids weak acids, meaning not all the hydrogens separate in solution, and the same thing with the hydroxide ions. Now on the final, you don't have to do any calculations with the pH or logarithm. You just have to know the basics of acid-base chemistry.